Welcome to Epilogue Podcast, the show where we discuss some stuff that happened on a different show ages ago which nobody really cares about anymore.
Hello, I'm Portponky.
And I'm LeBloc.
Today we are discussing Deep Space Nine, Season 2, Episode 9, Second Sight. In this episode, Cisco falls for a woman who keeps vanishing, and like in all classic love stories, she turns out to be the psychic projection of a terraformer's comatose wife.
So predictable.
Yep, I'm sure lots of people saw that twist coming.
I was just glad that it didn't turn out to be some sort of lovesick disease where Cisco was losing his mind and this somehow happened because of that. So, because it wasn't that, I didn't hate it.
Well, it kind of was that. I mean, the explanation was basically, somehow this happened because of my wife. It's the psychic projection, projective telepath? I don't know, it was just quite silly.
Overall, yeah, I didn't care for this episode too much. How about you?
No, I didn't really. The idea I thought was quite good, meeting someone, but they're disappearing, or you can never find them, and no one else has seen them. Especially because on the space station it works really well, because they can't truly just walk away. They must be somewhere. So the mystery aspect was kind of interesting, but it got swamped in such a cheesy romance, and then just took this twist into bizarre territory to the point where I could not really care.
I cared so little by the end of this that I didn't even care when the professor committed suicide.
Oh yeah, he was such a silly character, a real Zap Brannigan, that there was no emotional weight to him blowing himself to bits. Apparently the crew didn't really care either.
No. It was weird to see this character off himself, and I didn't care. It's just a strange thing to go through.
I thought his line was quite funny. He yelled, "Let there be light," which I thought was quite a good way of rounding off his character. His ego is so big that he considers himself deity.
Only a god could ignite a star.
But what does God need with a starship? That probably won't make sense to you, because I doubt you've seen the fifth original Star Trek movie.
You are correct.
Well, just imagine it was really witty.
Okay. That was a good one.
Thanks.
You nailed it.
Clearly. So I think we're done.
We could talk about a few more things.
Okay. Well, I've got some criticisms I wrote down.
I'm sure with this episode.
Not really many, because I think I need to have a certain level of interest and immersion before I can start analysing the sort of world building that they do.
Once your eyes glaze over, it makes it more difficult to pick up on the nonsense.
So I've got two technical errors, although they're both ropey on my behalf. The first one is that they say they need to use warp 9.5 to escape a star-going supernova. Warp 9.5 is fantastically fast. It's some ridiculous multiple of the speed of light. Warp 1 is the speed of light, so I don't really see why they would need to go so fast.
Who said that? Who made that calculation?
Dax, I believe, or O'Brien, maybe?
I have to meet with Chief O'Brien. We are boosting the maximum speed of Sayatek's ship to warp 9.5. If his experiment fails and that sun goes supernova, we're going to need to get out of there fast.
Why?
I don't know. I was going to pin it on the character and say it was that person's fault. They miscalculated human error.
But it's a silly thing to say because who knows? They have a Star Trek understanding of supernova. Maybe they're just faster than light properties of it.
Things which we have yet to discover that are harmful when you ignite a star.
Yeah. The other technical error I would say is the star at the end is just like a rocky planet, and then it goes up like lighting a match.
Yeah.
It ignites in a couple seconds, when if it was really a star, it would be so big that even just light traveling around it would take a number of seconds, let alone what is some sort of explosion would probably take minutes to go around it, which might have actually been really cool. Oh well. The only other thing I wrote down was there was a good use of a trope, which in my mind I call the sci-fi triple.
What does that mean?
I don't know if I've mentioned it before. It's where they reflect on the past, but use 3 examples to demonstrate. Okay, what Sisko said was he was talking about artists from the past, and he said Van Gogh, Beckett, Iraka. So he's used one from our past, Van Gogh, one who's reasonably contemporary, Samuel Beckett, and one that's just made up, Iraka. It's like when they say Archimedes, Einstein, Trulbadonk.
The power of 3. Very useful in comedy as well.
Yeah, in speeches. I think JFK had a lot of speeches that had sets of 3. He had a lot of speeches that had the flip-flop phrasing. We don't do it because it's easy, we do it because it's hard. Think not what you can do for your country. No, I got that the wrong way around.
I am a jelly donut.
Donut a jelly, I am.
I have a criticism.
You always have one.
Yeah, you take the good ones.
It's my shtick.
So, in the beginning, we see O'Brien fiddling around with machinery, and there are sparks flying everywhere, and he doesn't have safety goggles or anything to protect himself.
Yeah. There probably are safety goggles. O'Brien just doesn't wear them because he's so overworked. He doesn't have time.
Yeah, I could see that, him just not caring.
That, and they can seemingly fix everything, so maybe health and safety is just a massive mess.
Yeah, Bashir will fix my eyes right up.
Oh, you've blinded yourself. Come here. I'll just pop some new eyes in.
3rd time this week. So we had the Melora episode mirroring Little Mermaid, and then this one mirrors Cinderella. I wonder what future Disney tales we will find.
Not Disney tales, they're Hans Christian Andersen.
Hang on a second. Cinderella is an Italian folk tale, and Christian Andersen had nothing to do with that one.
Yeah, but popularized by Disney.
Okay, well, maybe one of them will be the little match girl, which is one of the ones that Disney could never use.
After I made that connection, I kept thinking of Nog being Simba, and so his dad would die, and then his uncle would cause trouble.
Like there's a sort of special off at Quarks, and there's a stampede to get there, and Ron's trapped.
He's trampled.
Oh no! No, Dad, no! That was, I don't know if that was an impression of Rom or Simba. Or
I
Nog.
took that as Nog. I don't know why.
I was thinking Nog. Then what would happen? Nog would push Quark off a cliff?
Yeah, he would push him into the airlock.
I guess Nog just cannot wait to be king.
Oh, man. They could have a dance number or 2.
I don't think there's enough dance numbers in sci-fi.
I'm going to guess this show has a musical episode somewhere in its run.
No, I don't think it does.
Aw, what a waste. Everyone has the gimmick musical episode. Nah, I guess not.
I can think of one sci-fi show that does have a gimmick musical episode. I'm not going to say it, though. That's an exercise for our many listeners.
Yes. The Cisco and Jake interactions are so much better now. There's actual warmth.
Yeah, I actually found Jake's story really funny about something about they threw up everywhere. It was disgusting. Because that is the sort of thing that young... I mean, he's supposed to be 13 or 12 or something. That's the kind of stories that you hear. And I think it's awesome and the best. It seemed more believable than a lot of his stuff.
I didn't like his retelling of the dream, though. That was as stupid as he suspected it was.
Yeah, that was not like what a dream is like, really. I was lost, and I was also trying to find you. I don't know, too melodramatic, too standard. Dreams are usually... Well, they can be a bit like that, but they're usually more just messed up.
Yeah, chaotic.
Especially the ones that perturb you. They're usually just whacked out in some way. That one was written very dramatically and not realistically. They had the old cliche about him having a different drink, and Kira said, "Oh, you always order one drink, now you ordered a different one."
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just dull and uninspired. Also, it's Raktuccino, which is Klingon coffee, and it was some other kind of tea. Why is it not just coffee and tea?
It's space. You can't have coffee and tea in space.
Well, Raktuccino, they do all drink, so I would surmise that's more popular than coffee, but it's not just tea, it's always, some other planet's tea. It's always uses an Earth term to make the viewer understand what the drink is.
And they always do that, so it sticks out. If they occasionally did it, it would feel like little bits of world building, but at this point it just feels like, well, we want to talk about this Earth thing, but we better throw something funky in front of it.
Yeah, he's never just drinking a Tarkalian gunge plunger. No, it's always, what are you eating? Oh, I'm eating a Klingon sausage roll. Side of Klingon peas. What's the sauce?
Trill.
It's Klingon ketchup.
I hear that's spicier than regular ketchup.
Well, it must be, because those Klingons are spicy guys.
That's Klingons.
I have something I would like to praise.
Ooh, me too. You first.
Okay. One of the scenes near the end, Cisco is bumming around on the promenade, and two aliens walk past who are short in stature.
Yeah.
I thought it's nice that they're including aliens that aren't carbon copies of humans for a change. I mean, I guess they are kind of, but they tried to make them a little bit different.
Yeah, nice to see some variability. Other than ridges and Confederate flag face paint. Or
having a spoon glued to the nose.
Or a handle on a face.
Well, in this one, they had his wife, Nadell, simply had a crescent on each ear. What was your praise?
I have two. I lied. I like when Quark approaches Cisco on the promenade.
Oh, yeah.
Because it makes sense that Quark, as the owner of a bar, would recognize Heartache and try to take advantage of that, try to lure him into his establishment. So I like that.
Yeah, well, remember your rules of acquisition. It never hurts to suck up to the boss.
Yeah, there you go. And I also liked when Dax challenged heteronormativity, when she said, "Oh, it's because I'm a woman now," when Cisco didn't want to talk to her. And I really like how casual she is about gender roles. We saw that when she accepted Pell as a possibly homosexual Ferengi, and we see it here where she wants to communicate regardless of gender.
Yeah, in season 1, she seemed lost and confused a lot, which didn't make that much sense. Whereas now she's taking things, or almost everything, in her stride, which is what you would expect.
Yeah, it's very in character, and I like to see that.
Yeah, after 300 years, there should not really be any surprises anymore.
Exactly.
I did like how they were going to blow up the star, and Cisco said, "Oh, I'll come along." And Dax says, "Are you sure that we should be sending this many command level officers on this dangerous mission?" It's like they always do that.
Sure, why not?
Cisco comes out and says, "Right, I've got a suicide mission. I'll need Kira, Dax, Odo, Brian, and Tim." And then Tim dies.
Poor Tim.
It establishes that the situation is serious.
To have a character whom we've never met prior to the moment suddenly die.
Yeah, well, yeah, see Galaxy Quest for information regarding this fantastic film.
I was able to enjoy it immensely, even without much familiarity with Star Trek.
Oh, well, it will only get better.
Yeah, watching through this is deepening my appreciation for Galaxy Quest. What did you think of Nog's evaluation of when a man is in love?
Ferengi love making lists.
Lists are good.
Well, yeah, they are useful. What was it? Daydreaming, loss of appetite, smiling all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually accurate enough, I'd say.
It's weird that that comes from Nog, though.
Yeah, but the Ferengi aren't just like market traders. They have a massive service industry, I think. Like,
Okay.
if you go to a Ferengi establishment with money, then I'm sure they will make sure you have a good time. Remember, the holodecks are always open.
So they make it a point to recognize when profit can be more easily obtained.
Well, yeah, you'd hope so.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it kind of fits that Nog has an actual list. It's not just, hey, look in their eyes and you can tell. It's, oh, these symptoms exhibit, and once they're in this state, the best thing you can do is do this and that. And fleece them for all they're worth.
Offer them a ride in the Hollow Suite.
Should we move on to quotes?
Sure.
Because I don't have much left to say.
Yeah, this episode didn't have a lot going for it.
Did it have a quote?
So honor the valiant who die 'neath your sword, but pity the warrior who slays all his foes. It's funny that right after that quote is delivered, the professor says it's a bit obvious, as if the writers are apologizing for writing these things. It has to be challenging to create new stuff that sounds as if it would survive the test of time. That's not an easy thing to do. And I know they don't just want to crib everything from Earth history. So I applaud their efforts. And that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, obviously if they could write something that would stand out amongst hundreds of years of literature, they probably wouldn't be writing for Star Trek. Which is not to belittle writing for Star Trek. It simply doesn't attract that level of talent, I'm sure.
Yeah, and to tear your hair out agonizing over one throwaway line to make it hopefully sound profound doesn't seem worth the effort.
No, it sounds hard, but I think they did fine. Fall of Kang. So what was the moral? You feel bad for the dudes you kill, but put one foot in the bath.
Yep, you got it. That's
okay.
it.
Good stuff.
It says pity the warrior who slays all his foes. So he's built himself up as a warrior. And
he's noob stomping.
He eliminates his one reason for being.
Oh, all right. Yeah, okay. I didn't think of it like that. I thought it meant maybe he's just fighting noobs and racking up a lot of kills and then bragging about it. Like, oh, hey, I killed all these guys. God damn it, Kang, they were all 5 years old. But I won. So I think this episode was generally hampered by sort of plot crutch regarding the psychic projection mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, it didn't help. It was weird that she promised her husband, "Oh, this will never happen again." How can you make that promise?
Reminds me of Team America. I promise I will never die.
Yeah. How could you promise that? And it's a medical condition. That was really strange.
Well, I promise the next episode is better.
Okay. I'm holding you to that.
Oh, I feel it might not be.
Uh-oh.
Let's find out then.
Onward. And right foot in the bath. Or is it left foot? I'm all mixed up.
Ask Dex.
Did you know she's 300 years old?
Oh, really?
Not a lot of people catch on to that.
Why? That's as old as 7 lifetimes.
Yes.
Okay. Goodbye.
Bye.